Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all to everybody that's been rocking with us throughout the night. We appreciate you. We've been having just a cool night. I mean, there's a lot of love and camaraderie going on in here tonight in the room. And the reason why we played 2 songs is because we in here salutating and congregating and educating and socializing, and there's folks in here who have only met each other through social media, who are having an opportunity to actually meet and bond and build with each other in the flesh for the first time. And so when that happens, especially when you come into the Den, you come into what is going to be your home after you come in for the first time.
That's right.
That is right. You realize, how cool it is to be amongst like-minded people. And so we got food in here. We got our sister Laurel brought in like this outstandingly dope-ass tea that, you know what? I mean, for real. The tea is just like serious. It's serious. Mr. 3375 brought in a 6-foot-long sub and whatnot. Ashley got this pie that's got you wanting to smile.
We ain't even opened the pie yet, Marcus.
I'm saying, she told me about the pie, and she told me that she ate it, and she told me that was dope. So
we about to try it out.
So she ate it, and it's dope. Then it's dope. So it makes you want to smile. I know what I'm talking about. Darn it. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for rocking with us. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial if you want to continue rocking with us. And so we're going to get to the next stage of the show. Joining us for the first time here in the Den. She is making her Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. and Legacy Internet Radio debut.
Hey.
She's going to talk to us about some numerology. Excuse me, I'm sorry, astrology. We did numerology, some astrology.
She's our astrologer.
Astrology. And
Come on now, Marcus.
I know.
No half stepping.
It's a lot going on. I got a lot of moving parts, but I want to make sure that we properly introduce you. So thank you.
Yes,
our sister Nicole's here. Tell us about some astrology.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I went from a 14-year-old girl sitting at my mama's computer and reading about the zodiac signs, and I actually decided to become an astrologer, and I'm helping people change their lives through astrology.
And I'm so thankful for you. Oh my God. My goodness.
You're very welcome. But yeah, astrology is one of those things we hear about it growing up. We always talk about zodiac signs in our household, but a lot of people just really don't know what it is, and what the basics of it are. So I'm just going to shed some light on that today.
Okay.
But astrology is known as the oldest recorded science. It began in ancient Babylon, it spread to Egypt, and then into Greece and other countries. It's very important for us to know that astrology did not start in Greece. A lot of people think that because a lot of the planets have Greek names like Mars, Venus for the Greek gods. It did not come from Greece. So I just want to put that out there.
I didn't know that. I thought it came from Greece. So I'm glad you educated me.
No, ma'am. Ancient Babylon and Egypt. So a brief.
They stole everything. They ain't just steal astrology. They stole everything.
They did. They like to take credit for a lot, but.
So the Egyptians started the astrology.
Yes,
oh my God! I didn't know that. Africa, baby.
All right, but a brief definition of astrology is the influence of the celestial on the terrestrial. So that just means the influence of the cosmos on the earth, or people on the earth and events on the earth. So I know you've heard of the metaphysical phrase, as above, so below.
That's right.
Or on earth as it is in heaven, for people who read the Bible. Astrologers believe that Carl Jung's theory, that there is synchronicities or meaningful coincidence that happen between earth and that above. So we believe in that theory.
Correlation.
Absolutely. And astrology and astronomy is not to be confused with each other.
Right. Because
a lot of people say, oh, you're an astronomer. And I'm like, no. No, I don't stargaze
Right,
as much as I should, but I would love to. But it's not the same thing. The astronomy is the study of the location of celestial bodies. Mm-hmm. Astrology is the study of the influence of the celestial bodies on the earth.
Okay.
All right. So, and there's a lot of people like to argue whether astrology is a science or is it an art. But if you think about it, for something to be considered a science, you have to be able to measure it. Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to have the same, like you have to be able to yield the same results each time.
Right.
So that's why astrology really cannot be considered a science. For me, I consider it an intuitive art. It's definitely an intuitive tool or a divination tool. Mm-hmm. It's to be used with tarot and numerology. A lot of people don't know that either, but it's like the trinity: tarot, numerology, and astrology. Mm-hmm.
They all go together.
Yes, all of them. Early astrologers observed that it took 12 lunar cycles for the sun to return back to its original position. So again, 12 lunar cycles, that's going to be 12 months. So the sun is taking 12 months to go right back to the same position. Also, they observed that there are 12 constellations that were linked to the progression of the cycles, thus giving you the 12 zodiac signs. So the sun is going on a path called the ecliptic. And as it's going on the ecliptic, moving through the ecliptic, it's going through different signs. So that gives you the 12 zodiac signs, gives you the 12 constellations.
Right.
So of course that gives you the zodiac signs. You have your earth signs, your air signs, your water signs, and your fire signs. So you have the earth signs, which are Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus.
Woohoo!
Oh, we have some representation here.
Earth, Mother.
We have the air signs, which is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius.
The Libras up in here. The air.
Lucia, Gemini.
Hey.
We have the water signs, which are your Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
Cancer. Yay.
Okay, we have some Cancers here.
Oh my gosh, we were surrounded by this children.
And then we have your fire signs, which are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius.
No fire in
fire?
here. Oh, there's a fire.
No, water.
I knew you was a water, emotional.
Okay, so basically astrology is made up of 4 different things. You have your planets, you have your signs, you have your houses, and you have your aspects. Okay, so there are 10 planets, which represents different urges, different human urges or energies. So you have the sun, which is basically, the sun is like the I am, it's your basic personality. You have your moon, which represents mood and emotions. You have Mercury, which represents mind and communication. You have Venus, which is love and attraction. And then you have Mars, which is drive and energy. Then you have Jupiter. We're going into the social planet. So what I just named for you, the sun through Mars, these are your inner planets. So your social planets are Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter is luck, growth, and wisdom. Saturn is discipline, fears, and challenges. You have Uranus, which is change and originality.
Okay.
Neptune is dreams, healing, and spirituality. And then you have Pluto, which is power and transformation.
I'm learning so much because I've always been a fan of the planets, and I've always been a fan of astrology and astronomy, but I never knew how they actually link together. You know,
right?
It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah. So you have your planet, like I said, which is the energy, and your planet is always going to be in a sign. So the sign is the way the energy is expressed. Okay. So if you have Sun in Capricorn, so you take the energy of the sun and it's expressed in the Capricorn way.
Oh, so now that's how it is. Okay, and I understand.
Right. And most people are familiar with like just sun sign astrology. They read their horoscopes on the internet and everything like that. But a lot of that stuff is inaccurate, and a lot of people say, well, I can't really relate to astrology. It's not true, when I read it. But we know, astrologers know, that there are other planets. You have so many other planets that make up your natal chart. Right. Which definitely makes up your personality.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're getting into the signs. We named some of them, but we can just talk about them a little bit. Let's see, going back to the earth signs, we have Virgo. I'm a Virgo.
Yes, for the Virgos. I love the Virgo.
So Virgo, very analytical, very critical. We are our biggest critics, but we're also service oriented. We want to heal everybody and help everybody, and sometimes we can take on so much and just forget about ourselves. Yes. The next one is Capricorn, which you're a Capricorn, right, Shayna?
Money, money, money.
That's right. Capricorn is the most ambitious sign, besides Scorpio, but we'll get to Scorpio. Most ambitious sign of the zodiac. They definitely want to reach the top of their field. When they have their eyes set on something, they go for it. They're very goal-oriented.
Yes. We're the GOAT, girl. GOAT.
That's right,
girl.
I'm glad you
we
said
don't
that.
do no falling.
That's right, because the GOAT starts from the bottom of the mountain,
girl,
and gets
we
to
make
the top.
it to the top. We might slide, but we make it.
You seen those the pictures of the goats on the side of the mountain?
Yeah, I put that on my Facebook. Yeah, because I am the GOAT. Okay.
All right, and we have the Taurus, which I think we have two Tauruses sitting beside each other over here.
We in the house.
And Taurus is all about, they're mostly about material gain, but also about personal values too. So what they value means so much to them.
True. Yes, we like nice things. Would you agree? I would agree. Good food. Yes.
All right, so you have the Libra, which is the air sign. Libras are very much about partnerships, and balance and harmony. The Libra has a tendency to be so much about harmony that they disregard what they need, trying to maintain that harmony. But they're great people when it comes to the social life and social, atmosphere. They're wonderful people to be around. They're really good at bringing groups of people together. Then you have Gemini.
Speaking of Gemini.
Go ahead, Lucia. You gonna say something?
I've never heard that. Yes, Gemini represents.
Marcus. Gemini.
Surrounded by the Geminis. It's a takeover at a gym.
I'm a sometimey moody ass grumpy Gemini.
He's very grumpy.
And I will say, as my brother Liddell once said, it's the gem in I that makes us the Geminis.
Oh, nice.
Boo! Wow. That's my brother right there. That's my brother Lucia. You know what I mean? When he speaks, you be listening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead and tell us how great we are.
Yeah, so Gemini.
Cause see, now I'm gonna tell on you. See, we just met for the first time today.
Yes.
And we've done a social media thing for a while. It was the first time I had the honor of meeting you, right? And so, after I gave you a hug, we're walking in the room, and you said, "What side are you?" And I said, "Gemini." You said, "Oh."
I'm telling you, Nicole has a thing.
This is what she did to me, bruh. This is what she did. She said, "Oh, okay." And like as a man, we all know when a woman goes, we know what that means. But I need you to tell us what that means. I'm having fun with you. I'm picking on you, but I'm serious.
I mean, I'll say.
Go ahead and tell us what it means now.
He did call me out on that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well. All right, so the Gemini.
Do we suck? Are we terrible? You think we do? Because see, now you can't even talk
Nicole,
to me.
just read the paper,
You
girl.
can't even
Read the
talk to
paper.
me. I'm trying to get her
Be
to
stuck
fix
into
it.
Marcus BS.
Yeah.
It might just be her own personal experience.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Nicole, read the
Tell the
paper.
truth.
Read the paper, Nicole. Don't
okay.
fall into Marcus BS. Read the paper, girl. Just read the paper.
I'm just trying to trap her, and y'all messing it up. Having so fun with it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Virgin over here. Okay? All right. I'm sorry, Nicole. I'm picking
All
up.
right.
He does this to everybody.
That's
So
okay.
It's your
Gemini
family
fine.
if he does
I was
that.
wrong.
It's a little
Their
hazing.
assets, though.
There's a little hazing going on. You wasn't wrong. No, it's cool. All right. All seriousness.
Maybe this is why she feels that way about you.
Hello? Yes. Yes,
Hello?
thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's the truth. That's the truth, Shay.
1 point for the
You know, I'm just
numerologist.
glad.
Hey, look. I already know how that conversation's going. I just met him and he coming for me. I can't stand.
You know what? I didn't even have to say anything. Shay, just,
I just met him.
thank you, Shay.
He's coming for me. All right, I'm gonna let you
But
go.
no,
I'm having no fun. I appreciate you being a good sport. Seriously.
All right, the Gemini is all about information and communication. But they also have a inner child about them, so they can play a lot and sometimes too much.
You have no idea. You have no idea, Marcus J.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes, sometimes.
Marcus J play a lot.
Didn't Jesus tell us to be like children, though?
There you go.
How you gonna bring Jesus into this? You brought Jesus in. You done brought Jesus into this psychic circle. This is it.
That was a typical Gemini response.
Yes, it was.
And this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Hey, but you know what it is?
Girl,
you know what
I
it's
agree,
more than-
honey.
You know that was more.
Amen, honey.
It was less Gemini and more brotherhood. Dan is brother. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Lucia. Love you, brother.
It's the twins. They're both Geminis. It's the twins. It's the twins. You can't win for losing. I'm telling you. You knock one down, the other one pop right up. It's whack-a-mole, whack-a-Gemini. Like, boom. It's the twins.
I think that we're able to do both sides, men and women. That's what makes us so wonderful. Because we're able
The
to
two-face, both sides.
Now, don't call us
That's
that.
it. That's the Gemini.
Don't do that.
That's the Gemini.
Don't do that.
Got two shades, both sides. You said both
I can
sides.
see the male side and I can see the woman side because I'm just built in that sign. So
Well,
I'm
now
able
one thing
to
I will
jump back
say,
and forth.
one of my good friends is a Gemini, and so my relationships with Gemini are vastly different when it comes to Gemini women and Gemini men. With Gemini women, for whatever reason, we get along, we have a great
We
time.
have big hearts.
and then you do.
And I think we're the most misunderstood zodiac.
But with the Gemini men, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a mixed bag with the fellas sometimes.
I think people give up just like, I can't figure this out. And the thing is you shouldn't try to figure us out. You should just enjoy us. Because that's what we're all about. We're
Again, that
enjoying
is
life.
a typical Gemini response.
Yes, true.
I relate to it. But you know what? The truth.
True.
real
Because then when
talk.
you finally go home and then you start
you wanna
talking,
talk about
that's
my
when the
sign, Marcus?
knives come out.
But you know what, Nicole? Just with Geminis, just when you think you got all the answers, we change the question.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes, sir.
But that's the fun of our playground, Marcus. That's the fun
There
of
you
our
go.
playground.
There
We
you
make
go.
rules as we go. We don't live by any rules.
Geminis are good
Free-flowing,
politicians, let me tell you.
Painting a story. I'm understanding more. It's never about being a bad thing or wrong thing, though. But I mean, everyone's got their own things, And
I just think that it's fun, honestly, in all seriousness. So take it back serious for a second. I think that it's fun, really fun, Nicole, that every single sign has a thing, and depending on what your sign is, other than the sign that you're talking about and analyzing, you may have experiences that makes you more or less sensitive to said sign. Like with me, I've got a very strong, passionate connection with Cancer. You know what I mean? One of my favorite people on the planet is Cancer, and it's a very interesting and contentious relationship that goes back, a while with Cancer. And so you guys may have similar, kind of back and forth with Gemini. And so I think it's really cool. I'm personally not one who puts a lot of, just because of my experience, I don't put a lot of, I don't know if stock or energy, whatever the word is, in people's astrological signs, because as a Gemini, I could be a kind of a knucklehead, but I could be great, depending on who you are and what your experience is with me, versus said Cancer or Pisces or Capricorn or Leo or Virgo or whatever, Aquarius, whatever you end up being. And so when I hear these discussions, I'm fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated, and I was fascinated to meet you and have you come in here in the den and share your knowledge and your wisdom. Now, I got something that I want to ask you, but I want you to get through your piece before I ask you my question. So pick up where you were when we had all of that fun. pick up where you were, and then kind of give me a signal, because we're going to do like radio, but not radio, like wink at me or like give me a thumbs up or go, and let me know when it's okay for me to ask you my question.
So we left off at Aquarius. Do we have any Aquariuses here? Oh, Lindsay! Oh, cool. Okay. Nice. Okay, so the Aquarian is also a very social sign, and for the Aquarian, the good of everyone matters to them. They like to be in groups, but they also like to go against the norm. They are rebellious. Or they can be rebellious. Or they kind of like to stretch the envelope. Like doing anything that's normal for them is boring. They don't like to be told what to do. They love technology, especially the males. And like I said, they just like to do what they want to do. I got a comment.
So can I ask you a question
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is Cadence from Twa After Dark. So my question for you is, why are there so few of us? Like, we saw how many Geminis are in the room, not throwing no shade at y'all, because I'm scared of you. Like, I'm scared if I say something about Geminis, you're going to come after me across that table. Why are there so few Aquariuses? Like, I don't run into a lot of them. I'm not really into signs, but I am an Aquarius. I am. I see, but that's how it always is. It might be like one or two of us. Like, why are there so few of us?
Well, there are a lot of Aquariuses, but if I looked at your natal chart, I would be able to tell why you attract other signs other than your own.
All right, that's it for me.
She's not sure she wants to know.
All right, so the next sign is Cancer.
Yay, Cancer.
Yay.
Think I'm a Cancer.
Cancer are they are very sensitive. They have a lot of nurturing energy. They love home and making people feel, like home.
Introverted.
And, again, they can be very emotional, but also very intuitive. They are the most intuitive sign other than Scorpio in the zodiac.
Oh, may I comment or say something?
Sure.
Because you did my chart before, and it was incredible. And one of the things, I specialize in numerology. People ask me this a lot about, like, what's the comparison with astrology and how does it work together? And I'm like, I don't pretend to understand astrology. It's like the other side of the same coin. But one of the things that I always felt was that I was half Cancer, and I felt like I was half Leo, and I was like, because there's those dualities within my numerology profile that show, like, I'm totally introverted on one hand, I'm totally extroverted on another hand. So when you did my chart, it completely explained it, and it said, that I do, it showed like Cancer, and then I think I have like Leo rising.
Right.
So then it just made perfect sense. You know, sometimes like you got to scratch the surface and, get more details. There's so much more to it, just like numerology. Like you're not just one number. You're not just one sign. It does not embody who you are. So you did a great reading for me. I love it. If you feel like sharing more about my profile, you feel free.
Sure.
Like I would love that. I have it here saved in my phone. That's how much I love it.
This is why I scheduled both of y'all for the same day. It's because
smart.
Right. I mean, initially I wanted to have y'all on different days, but I wanted to shed some light on how astrology and numerology work together. And honestly, I didn't even realize that till a few minutes ago. So I was wondering, why am I saying, I'm going by my spirit guides saying, okay, schedule both of this on the same day. I'm like, that don't even make sense, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I did it, and this is the reason why I did it. I never know my reasons till way down the line.
Me too. That happens a lot with me.
Okay.
So I just want to ask a question about something you kind of said, because you said that you can be more than one sign, and where my birthday falls, because I'm not really into astrology. I know what I am because I'm nosy. But it seems like everybody around me knows more about this than I do. So when people ask me what my sign is, and then they ask me when my birthday is, they say that I'm kind of on the fence between, the cusp of being.
What day is it?
I would prefer not to say on the air. But I'm right on, because I don't want no shenanigans around my birthday, which is coming up. I don't. I'm going to be honest. I don't want no shenanigans. So I'm right on the cusp between a Capricorn and an Aquarius.
Okay.
So what does that even mean? Because people always say, you're on the cusp.
Okay.
Because people say I have some tendencies or some characteristics of a Capricorn.
Okay.
But then I have characteristics. So what does that mean?
Okay. So when you're on the cusp, you can have characteristics of the sign that you were born in, or the other one. So do you feel more of the social, rebellious Aquarius, or do you feel more of the serious, goal-oriented Capricorn?
I plead the fifth.
But that's your answer.
Well, that pretty much answered it, I think. I mean, that pretty much. I was just wondering, because I always wanted to know that, and I never knew anybody to ask.
Yeah,
so thank
absolutely. You are very, very welcome. And then
for
you have
answering.
your moon sign too. Like all of these, like I said, all of these planets.
So I appreciate you answering, because my daughter is a Capricorn.
Okay. How do you get along with her?
She is literally like my bestest friend.
Okay.
Like literally, like we are each other's bestest friends. Like literally, and we're very similar in some ways, but we are dramatically different in some ways. But we complement each other in our strengths and weaknesses. Gotcha. And so we get along just fabulously. We really do. But I just wanted to know that. Thank you for answering that for me, because I never knew, and people would say it to me. And you know how somebody says something to you, you just smile and like, okay.
Kind of like finding out that Marcus is a Gemini. No, I'm done. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, they're gonna bond.
Dude, that's a Gemini response. I'll admit that was a Gemini response.
They're gonna bond now. They're gonna have a bonding moment over that.
Nicole, I got a question for you. This is Laurel.
Sure.
And I actually just had my Vedic chart done, which is very different than Western astrology, because the months are a month earlier. So my rising sign is actually a Libra.
Right.
And so would you say, because I know in Vedic astrology they say this, that the strongest part of your personality would be in your rising sign?
That is correct. Yeah, and we're going to get over to the rising sign as well. In your rising sign in modern astrology, or the type of astrology that I do, what was the rising sign again? Scorpio. So which one feels better for you? Like, or which one resonates?
They both do. It's
but I feel like it's the Scorpio.
Huh?
I definitely feel like it's the Scorpio for you.
You do, huh? Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
This is true.
But yeah.
She's like, you guys didn't have to say all that.
Can I say something about speaking on sexual energy? Because Laurel, yes, girl.
But hold on. Hold on, I want to comment on that.
But I want to say
that's Taurus, though.
Oh, I ain't hating on that either. I admit. But what I was going to say, because we were dogging out the Geminis, I will say Geminis have big hearts, and And I am not.
Okay, what?
And I will say Geminis have, okay, one thing, because I have been kind of on the side of, I feel like I've been kind of digging at the Geminis or evening. But I will say on a positive note, when a Gemini loves, they love hard and purely. And I feel as though they are relatively very sensual expressions of their physical love.
I can attest to that. We are.
So I try to tread lightly because I have not, slept with every Gemini in the world. But from what I understand and from my very limited experience,
it can be earth-shattering.
It can be. I will say.
Shatter the glass ceiling.
So I do give them their props for being that if you find the right one.
See, this is the
your
energy
life
because
will be
the Twa After Dark people are here. Now we done turned this into intuitive sex class.
We need to have
Lord
the
have
astrology
mercy.
on your show.
Keep going what I know.
We need to schedule another day
We
for
got the sex people in
Yes,
with
which is
the
a
psychic. This is gonna be
Yes. That's it. We can take the sextrology over the Twa
I'll
After
be here for
Dark.
that one.
We'll
on
talk.
Sundays, right?
We'll have a powwow.
Hey, look, another shameless plug. When is Twa After Dark?
It's 6 to 8 on Sundays. Come and check us out. Listen to us. Be informed, educated, and entertained.
Bring your whipped cream and your handcuffs.
Listen, it's really raw. I came and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Hey, look, they here, so we had to.
I just came.
We had to shamelessly plug. It's the 3375.
Can we move on to a real sign? Can I get the Pisces going on here?
About Cancer?
You know what I'm saying?
But see, Pisces needs that attention, though. So yes, let's move on.
That's right.
All right, so the next one was Scorpio, which is what?
Continue.
Okay.
Scorpio.
Yes, Scorpio.
Sexual.
Yes, lots of sexual energy, lots of transformational energy. Scorpio is considered the most intense sign of the zodiac. They have very, very deep feelings that they express.
Say that into the microphone.
But they have a dark side to them, which can turn into manipulation and control. Because they want power. They're ruled by Pluto, which is the planet of personal power. So, you have, Scorpio just wants to be in control.
I see more of that side of Scorpio. It's like the control. I'm like, where's the passionate part? Because I never saw that in Scorpio.
Probably because of the state of our world, though. It's already very competitive, you know what I mean? So them, it's probably...
I think out of the majority of the signs, Scorpios are the most competitive with themselves.
That is very true. Mm-hmm. That is very true. But I have to give props to the Scorpios, man, because like how I said with the Geminis, with Scorpio, at least Scorpio men, when they love hard. And I feel also that they are relatively faithful. The only backside to that is what you just said. They compete a lot with themselves, and a lot of times when you're dealing with the inner battle, that can affect the relationship, because in a relationship is two.
I think
you over here having this whole relationship by yourself.
Right? And they borderline on the edge of confidence and conceitedness. It's just
absolutely
like me. I'm a Scorpio.
But the best relationship that I was in, is with a Scorpio, and then the best one before that was with a Scorpio. So and I'm a Taurus. We don't even really get along.
Okay, and
my bad.
You're good. Well, one positive thing. one positive attribute of the Scorpio is they have major focus. Yeah. If it's something that they want, they go for it, and you cannot deter them from it. The next one is Pisces.
Yay, Pisces.
Yes, time to swim.
I like his little swimming.
Hey, you swimming, shouty? Because they going both ways. What's going on?
That's right, up and down.
They don't know which way they're going.
69 for Twice After Dark.
Give me the microphone.
Pisces are very empathetic. They're very, they can be nurturing as well, but they're very spiritual. One of the most spiritual signs of the zodiac. They like to have out-of-body experiences, whether they do that on their own or they use a little to do.
Let me find out.
Is that like a
your
water
job
sign
drugged.
thing?
Hold on, wait a minute.
It's
Pisces be getting geek?
Pisces.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta take a break. I want to shout out Michelle Lee London. Hi, baby. I love you. I missed your yoga class because I'm here, but me and Ashley love you deeply. Ashley in the back getting a sandwich.
That's not very yoga-like.
I love. Michelle says she's watching us.
Real good.
Yeah, there was a study that I read that most of the drug addicts are Pisces.
So most of the junkies,
Really?
most of the junkies
I'm curious about that though. I have a question for you with that because I actually saw something along those lines as well. And some of the research that I saw stated that Pisces, more oftentimes than not, are drug addicts because their mind is so out there already. It's like, how do you really control that? So it's like you try to like meet that.
Absolutely, because they come into the world already feeling like they don't belong here, that they're from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they definitely try to cope with that feeling.
So what you're saying is Pisces is crazy? I mean, come on, man.
Oh, probably not. Well, like if you
let's ask our resident Pisces back here.
The way y'all feel about Pisces,
Hold on a second. You went in on Gemini.
But my mom's a Pisces.
Her mom's a Pisces. I gotta cut her some slack.
But you a grown up. Don't you be scared. Don't you be acting like that. You a grown up. You're a grown woman.
Call out little mama on the radio.
What you doing?
Why did you tell him he had a superpower? He think that's the superpower.
It all comes back to that, doesn't
You know what I'm
it?
saying? You know what I mean? No, I'm messing with you. I'm having fun messing with her though, because she don't know how to take me.
Like I kind of have
Everybody else know how to take me. She not sure. I'm having fun with you, like for real.
I mean, I kind of have a question when it comes to that though, because I mean, there are these like predispositions with the signs, but would you say that some of these predispositions, such as drug addiction, would stem from someone who is a Pisces, but also has had traumatic situations, particularly, and that being a Pisces and having that combined would amplify it to the point where they would be definitely more likely. Like if they hadn't had those situations, maybe they would not be a drug addict, but they're more prone to it.
Absolutely, definitely more prone to it.
Okay, not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed. No. Okay. I don't want everyone to think that every Pisces they meet is a stoner or something like that. That is not the case.
And that's just a Pisces thing, or is that a water sign thing too?
It can be a water sign too, especially Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
Well, yeah, it is.
And I'm not going to say any more than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because with your water signs, you have all the deep emotions. So, you all have a tendency to be drawn to things that help you not be emotional.
Yeah, and that introversion too, and you like to be alone, and certain things can lend to that, and enhancing that experience. I could, attest to that.
Yeah. All right, but moving on.
I'm just saying.
Oh, hold on,
you just sucked all the life out of Pisces.
I am so sorry.
Dang.
No, y'all are wonderful. Pisces make wonderful spiritual leaders. You know what I'm saying? They can help people who.
God, I just feel like Pookie on New Jack City. I just need to go.
I don't remember her saying anything like that.
Or something, you know what I'm saying? Like.
I thought she said you were pretty cool. Like, I thought she said you were cool to hang out with. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, this could be a cool person to hang out with.
Jay's looking at it in a totally different light.
But I have to say, I know a Pisces, very loyal, very strong personality. And I have to say, as a Gemini, there's not too much that scares me, but it's almost a line of respect that I have that makes me stand in line. I'm like, oh, okay, I feel you. But, you know, all the other signs, they were like toys to me. It was like, psh. So, but a Pisces was the one. I was like,
Yeah.
Kind of
again, that's probably something in your chart where you feel very comfortable with that sign.
Y'all gonna do my chart tonight, okay? Before we leave here, we gonna have a chart reading for moi, okay?
I wish we had more time.
I know.
on the radio.
No. The next sign is Leo.
Yeah, you'll be back.
I gotta wait a whole year. Wait a minute, there are things going on. A whole year? I'm gonna hunt some of y'all down.
We are available.
All right, Leo is the next sign.
Yeah, I got a lover that's a Leo.
Oh yeah, I love Leo. I'm part Leo.
Shut up.
Leos are very fun. They have that inner child too. They're very creative. Most Leos are very good with children. Only downside to the Leo is they deal with ego issues.
Yes, all ego.
And they need a lot of attention.
See, that's why me and the old man ain't gonna get along too much. He just need too much attention.
Then you have Aries.
What's wrong with an Aries?
Okay, so Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So they are very, very, very independent. My father is an Aries. I think your rising sign is an Aries. But the Aries, you can't tell them anything. It is their world, and they're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But the positive side to the Aries is they are go-getters. You know, they go after what they want as well. But they don't think about it. They don't really think about that next move. They just do it. They are
Spontaneous.
They're spontaneous, but they're also
Forthright.
yeah. What's another word I'm looking for? Impulsive.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Aries can be very impulsive, but really good friends. They like to draw attention to themselves when they're out in public. So if you're not giving Aries that due attention, just like the Leo, you will have an issue with them too.
That's like the number one kind of.
Number one, yes,
yeah.
they have to be number
They can
one.
be a little overly aggressive if they're not in balance, especially. They just have so much of that strong energy, so they can be that person always talking over other people.
Right.
And kind of, yes.
Right.
That is your superpower. Marcus's superpower and Shayna's. But they're both in balance, doing very well.
Last sign, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about, they love their freedom, they love traveling, they love philosophy, they love theory. They want to have a good conversation. You can't date a Sagittarius and talk about surface level things. It has to be deep, because they're all about, okay, what's the philosophy behind what you're saying? Do you even believe what you're saying? They'll throw a bunch of questions at you. Cool. More than the Gemini. But they're really good people, and you can have fun with a Sagittarius too. I mean, they have no filter.
The Sagittarius, that's the late November through most of December sign, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know the dates, but my
right now. Shout out to the Sagittarius out there.
Shout out to my mom. I hope she's still checking us out. My mom is a Sagittarius. We just celebrated her 70th a couple of weeks ago. So when you said it, I was like, man, that sounds familiar. So that's what it is. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial if you want to rock with us. We're going to roll with y'all. We're going to close out the segment with a question that you had asked me prior to us going live. You had asked me to ask my mama when I was born. And so I gave you the information. I was born on June 3rd, June, I almost forgot. June 3rd, 1974.
I have it written down here. Hold on.
June 3rd, 1974. If you give me a minute, I got an app that'll help me figure out what day of the week it was. But she said that it was at 1:15.
I have 1:15 p.m.
1:15 p.m. Yeah. And so, does that mean anything? Or because you specifically asked me that. And so I got the information. So I guess I'm curious to know now why, I was asked that. So
okay. So in order to
and it was on a Monday, which is the same day of the week that anhswmj is. Yeah. I don't know if that's serendipity or coincidence, but it's certainly worth mentioning. So sister, what you got?
That's the information that's required to create your natal chart, which you're seeing right here.
Okay.
So that tells me, it shows me the planetary placements when you were born.
Okay.
So that tells me a lot about your personality, but also how you deal with home and family, how you deal with relationships, and also what type of career you would most likely be attracted to.
Okay.
So you have a lot. Let's see. You have your sun, which is really close to the career line, which is in Gemini, which is your sign, which means that your job or your career would most likely be dealing with communication. So you are definitely in the correct field.
Okay.
All right, and let's see. I'm showing here that your north node, which is your fate, or what you should be pressing towards in this life, is in the 4th house, and it's in Sagittarius. So in this life, it is your responsibility to open up people's minds to different subjects, different topics. Again, it's in Sagittarius, which likes to talk about philosophy, which likes to talk about theories, broadening people's horizons. In the relationship sector, you have Pisces. Have you dated a Pisces before? Did you like that?
Yes.
Yes. I'm showing here that not only are you attracted to Pisces, but that's how you love as well. That's your way of love. That's your love language, is the Piscean way.
Okay.
Nicole, before you continue, could you say Virgo one more time for my yoga teacher, Michelle Lee London? The Virgo.
This description?
Yeah. Just one more time for her.
Okay, yeah.
This is for you, Michelle. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, going back, Virgo is a very analytical sign. It's really self-critical as well. We like to analyze everything around us. We're also our biggest critics, so we can be very, very hard on ourselves. And also, Virgo is very health conscious.
All of that.
She's health conscious, yes.
She's all of that.
So she said she's a yoga teacher.
She is.
So she's definitely in the right field. And I think I mentioned that Virgos, we're service oriented too. So we just want to serve people, help people in any way that we can.
Thank you. Yes. Tell her that you're also a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo too.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J, live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take our final break of the night. And when we come back, we're going to do our rants and our closings. And normally, I don't regulate rants and closings, but I'll set it up for the crew. What I wanted to do, I thought we would have more time, but the numerology and the astrology were both so dope that I didn't want to cut them. I wanted to talk about 2016 reflections and 2017 predictions. And so I'm just going to ask the crew to, in the next break, be thinking about that. I'm going to send the mic around the room. If you want to rant and you want to close, that's the parameter that I want you to be thinking about. If you choose not to, that's cool. If you got something that's going on that is specific to your craft, I want you to make sure that you shout yourself out because you dope. Everybody in the room is dope. And I want the listeners to know how dope you are. And so I want to make sure we do that. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. I normally don't leave the phone open for rants and closings, but I want the listeners to know that they dope too. And so if you happen to call and you want to get in and you want to close it out with the crew, then you'll have the opportunity to do that here tonight. I got a whole lot of people in the room. I love these folks, and I love y'all, the listeners. Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping with yours truly. We'll be back in a few, y'all. Stay with us.
What's up, y'all? This is your man K-Dub, and when I'm down on 285 down in Atlanta, GA, maybe on I-64 in Newport News, Virginia, or maybe I'm in Jersey City catching that light rail headed downtown to go into NYC, I'm always plugged in to Legacy Internet Radio, listening to Ain't No Half Stepping with my man Marcus J. Check it out, y'all. Peace.
What up, everybody? It's your girl, Jody Smith, JMM, Jody Music Mixtape. It's a classic. Get at my dude, Marcus J, on Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half stepping. Get your own JMM mixtape. Hit me up. Jody Smith on Facebook, Jody Music, Jody Music, or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. They're both Jody_804. Get at me on YouTube. That's Jody the Artist. Check out some of my footage, some of my videos. You can listen in on SoundCloud, Jody Smith Music, or just give me a call at 1-262-JODY-804. That's 1-262-JODY-804.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a